Hey dancers, welcome to the official Mood Over Moves podcast. My name is Jamie Chung. I'm non-binary. My pronouns are they, them, and I am the creative founder of Mood Over Moves and your host on this podcast. Mood Over Moves is the podcast that goes beyond dancing in the spotlight. Whether you're a dancer navigating career transitions, exploring mindfulness and spirituality, or simply seeking balance between movement and meaning, this is your space. Hosted by passionate artists, thinkers, and creative entrepreneurs, we dive into the intersection of dance, yoga, mindfulness, and personal growth. Because in the end, it's not just about the moves, it's about the mindset. On today's episode, I am here with DARRIEN, and she's going to share her experience as a professional dancer turned DJ. She started dancing professionally when she was 11. She's been in LA for 10 years, and her biggest gig of dancing on the main stage at EDC ignited her passion and transition into DJing. So first off, tell us how you got into dance.
Hey guys, I'm DARRIEN and my pronouns are she, her. And I got into dance, I started when I was super young, even before anything professional. I always used to dance with my cousins. We used to make up dances because we were so inspired by You Got Served and Bring It On and all the, Y2K dance things, all the dance videos and stuff, music videos. And yeah, we used to make up choreo and then we'll go downstairs to the basement, East Coast girl, and perform for our parents.
Yes.
And that kind of just started everything. And then when my parents repeatedly seen us do that, they had me and my cousin try out for our first dance team at 11.
That's awesome. That's so fun.
So my first audition, we want to call it that? Yeah, audition. It sparked something in me. There was a move that I couldn't do. It was just like a knee slide.
Oh my God, I remember you told me this story.
Yeah, and then that's when I realized I'm passionate about dance because it was a 2-day audition. And the first day I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it right. And the next day I killed it. And I was just like, something in that was like, you need to do something until you do it right. And that's where the training that's when the training really started in that moment for sure. So I think in that moment, the judges seeing that I was very determined, and that's what got me picked. I think I am a good dancer too, but I think just wanting it that bad, just wanting to be better, not really competing with anybody else in the room, just literally competing with myself from that first day.
Yeah,
I think they seen that, and then I was there with my cousin too, so there was probably some teamwork or some friendliness.
Did you both make it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
okay.
We did. And we danced on that dance team for 3 years, my whole middle school. So yeah, I made it to the team called Glow Dance. And it was really cool because we practiced twice a week and we competed all over the East Coast. So it was regional, I think. Is that the right way to say it? So yeah, a regional dance team. And we won first place a lot.
Oh my God, little hip hop DARRIEN.
Yeah, it was hip hop and jazz funk, but I don't even really know what that means. But it's interesting because I didn't really train technique a lot. I just learned a lot of choreo, which probably led to really bad habits as a dancer. But my ability to pick up and to be on a dance team definitely gave me a lot of skills that led to LA. But yeah, that was a really big. I'm gonna say this. I'm sure that experience really shaped who I am as a person, and thank goodness and that I have parents that believed in me that much to put me in a situation where I can dance and travel, because it really showed me I'm capable of doing things and being creative and showing people what I got.
Yeah. And I love what you said about your parents saw you and your cousins making up dances and performing. So they were like, you know what, let's get these girls at an audition or in a class. They sound really supportive.
Oh yeah, my parents are super supportive. I'm pretty sure anything you have to pay for these things. We we didn't have a lot of sponsorships, I think, or anything like that. So our parents were paying out of pocket for these experiences for us, and even traveling, getting hotels, and yeah,
All of that.
all of that. They were putting a lot of money into my dancing, and I guess I really never thought about that, but thank you.
Yeah, it's always in those moments when I'm reflecting on my own journey too as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even though I'm like, oh, maybe they didn't necessarily support me as an adult being professional. I'm like, well, who paid for all your dance classes as a kid?
Yeah.
And like, who drove you to dance class? Who came to your recitals? And I'm like, oh, yeah, like they did support. Whether they supported as a hobby or as professional, they still supported in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful because not everybody has that.
Mhm.
But my parents were there for me. So I think it's really cool to have that support. And I really do carry that support. And I try to give that to my dance friends as well, in case they never had that experience. It takes a village to be a dancer, for
Yeah.
sure. And,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't like the idea that it's always competitive and you have to fight for everything. I really believe that being on a dance team was one of the best things that ever happened to me because I was
Oh.
with my other friends and dance friends and stuff. So yeah.
That's awesome. So where did you go with dance after that dance team?
I started dancing for my high school after that. I had an audition for that as well, and it was the dance team for the basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
And we were called the Raiderettes because we were the Raiders. And yeah, that was fun too. I did 3 out of 4 years, and it was really cool because I was with my friends from high school, so I will see them in class, and then we'll just go to practice. And
It was a hip hop team?
Yes. Also jazz funk. I don't know what that is.
Everybody has their own version of jazz funk.
Exactly.
Like when I first moved to LA, I took a jazz funk class at Millennium, but I think the teacher had a lot of dance hall influence. And I was like, I think I'm in a dance hall class, but I'm not sure. It's called jazz funk.
It's like street jazz.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So another hip hop and jazz funk dance team. I feel like it kept me super grounded in school because I had something to look forward to. I didn't always have to worry about like just going to school and be like hate my life because it's just classes, but there was always something after school to like look forward to. My school had a lot of after school programs and stuff, so I'm really grateful. And they had a really, really nice sports program too. So my school was really cool. I like my school.
Where did you go to school?
I went to Cash, which is just Coatesville High School. We only have one high school in our little town, so we all come from every middle school in that area, and we go to Cash. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Where are you from?
I'm from a small town outside of Philly, Coatesville, Pennsylvania. And yeah, grew up there until I was 18. And then when I turned 18, I moved to California, to San Diego, to be exact. And that is my first California stopping ground.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Wow, you moved out to California when you were only 18? Wow, that's crazy. Like, you're so young and you moved all the way across the country. Tell us about that.
Yes, I moved out here when I was 18, and the last few months and being in Pennsylvania were super difficult. I was getting in trouble a lot. Like, I just got out of high school and I kind of had that like limbo of just like, what do I want to do? College wasn't anything I really wanted to do right away. And I wasn't dancing anymore. Just experimenting and experience what it's like being out of high school. And we all kind of have that funk, like, unless you go straight to college, like a lot of us that don't and have that buffer, kind of gets a little depressing because you don't know what you want to do with your life. And so I started to go downhill a little bit. And when you're in a small town, there's nothing to do but get in trouble. So I was kind of like just, doing dumb stuff with my friends, and I got into trouble really bad. And it was around the same time my cousin offered me to come to San Diego. And I hopped on the first thing smoking because I was like, either I'm going to stay here, get in trouble, maybe get pregnant if you want to be real, and like whatever. Not that I had a boyfriend at the time, but when you're in a small town, it's easy to get like sucked in to just being there all your life. And my cousin offered me to come. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna come there. And he was in the Navy at the time, so San Diego is a really big Navy base. And I just moved here because I didn't want to get in trouble anymore. Wanted more opportunities, and small town, just a small I guess what's the saying? Just a big fish in a small pond feeling. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, how did you know all those things of being so aware about a small town and what it could do to you? Because I feel like not everyone has that awareness.
Yeah. I'm the youngest, so I have two older brothers and an older sister. And my older sister went to the military, so she kind of left too. And I was like, oh, I see. When you leave, like you get more opportunities.
Mm.
And then my other brothers, who I love dearly, and I don't want to speak bad about them, but it's just kind of easy to get sucked into your environment, and I kind of seen that too. And I was just like, okay, there's a couple routes I can go, and if I stay here, yeah, I can't really see a lot of opportunities. Philly is the closest city, and that's like 48 minutes, like an hour away. And yeah, I just didn't see many opportunities for me. And I seen other people's paths, and I like to think I'm not hard headed, and I can see other people's experiences and kind of apply them to my own too. So that really helped shape me into my decision. Plus, being really sad and depressed and not knowing what to do with myself. So
It's a reason to go.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're in San Diego now. What's like your first step, your first move out here in California?
Wasn't much because I had no idea why I came here and I didn't really have a plan. I just got off the plane and moved in with my cousin. So I was in the house a lot. And right before I moved here, I cut off all my hair. I was relaxed for pretty much my entire life since I was probably like 10. I was getting relaxers. And right before I moved here, I cut off all my hair. It was really short. It was like 2 inches.
Wow.
And that was another reason why I had to get out of there, because a lot of people back home just like are so used to a certain look, and I just felt like I do not belong here. So moving to California with a short curly afro and nowhere to go but my room, I started my YouTube channel and I grew out my hair and showed people my journey. And I went to my first dance class in San Diego and I did so bad.
I was not expecting you to say that.
I'm trying to go back to dance because I'm like, well, I guess it was a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, like, that is one of the most spiritual things I feel like we can do is cut off our hair.
Yeah.
Right? Strip away who we know ourselves to be, but strip away who other people know us to be, like you said. And that's really brave. And I think there's always been something inside of you that's just known you were different, known you were meant for something more. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that was moving out here and cutting off my hair was like the biggest steps I probably have taken to this day. Yeah, those two moves were a big risk because I didn't know what was going to come after that. I was like cutting off my hair and moving to California. What the heck was I thinking? But I just followed my heart. I wasn't thinking at all. I was just feeling and like trusting my gut.
So the dance class was bad.
Oh yeah, the dance class. Yeah, it was at Culture Shock, I think it's called. I think they have a few different places in the US, but yeah, it was really bad. It said beginner, intermediate, but that was my first time learning that people have different interpretations of that,
especially out here.
And yeah, it was just discouraging, I guess, for me because the teacher was just like pretty much not called me out specifically, but it was about me. It was just like, if you can't keep up, like go to a beginner, like a real beginner's class. And I was like, I'm a professional dancer, but I'm just not used to that pace of like learning that fast. I was on a dance team and we would take our time learning one routine to do in front of judges in different parts of the, East Coast. So like I didn't have to learn that fast. So it was my first experience like retention, like learning how to retain choreography in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have the mindset. I don't think I really started my spiritual journey yet and had that that like mental armor of not letting people get to you at the time. So that just discouraged me and I did not go back to dance.
Yeah, I don't know who has that at 18, but wow, so you didn't go back to dance.
I did not go back to dance after that. It really, really hurt me.
Damn.
And I eventually found yoga and that really got me into my body. I learned about breathing with my body and that that and cutting off my hair really kicked off my spiritual journey for sure. Yeah, so with yoga, I also learned about meditation. I learned about manifesting. I like watched the documentary on Netflix called The Secret, and that really changed my life too because it's pretty much just learning about manifesting, but they put a name to it. And I realized if you want to change your environment, you got to change your mind, and that really did work. Like after that, I ended up moving to LA because I just switched my whole mindset. I got my first self help book at that time too, called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And that book helped me learn how to keep my mind in check and not allow my thoughts to snowball into anxiety. Because I was so anxious and I didn't even know what anxiety was as a kid. Like I learned that through yoga and like realizing, oh, I need to reset and like keep my nervous system balanced. Like no one's ever told me that ever until yoga.
Yeah. How did you find yoga?
I did it a little bit as a kid on demand. I found some stuff, but officially I was on YouTube as usual because I'm an iPad kid. I found this Black girl YouTube channel and she had a yoga video. I was like, oh snap, she looks like me. And I don't know, I just seen representation and I seen somebody that looks like me doing something I'd never done before. And I just took the class and I think I cried after that first yoga class on YouTube for free too. And I kept doing that for a couple days. Like I would go back to that same class and then I found another YouTuber that's a yoga teacher and I kind of just went from there. And yeah, thanks to YouTube, I found a free video.
Wow. Full circle.
Seriously. Yoga, meditation, working on my mind, manifesting led me to LA.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we're in LA now, so it's so interesting to hear your journey from Philly to San Diego, now to LA. And like you really had no idea where you were really going. You just knew you wanted to get out. And your cousin happened to live in California. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I mentioned before, he was in the Navy and he got stationed somewhere else. So I had two choices, either go back home or find it somewhere else to go in California. And luckily, I have a best friend that I known Alice since elementary, but we became good friends in 6th grade. And she already lived here 2 years before me in LA. And I was talking to her. I was like, yeah, I have to go home. Like, I don't have anywhere else to go. And then she talked to her mom and her sister, and they gave me an opportunity to move in with them.
Wow.
And that really started my whole LA journey.
Wow.
And he took a chance on me.
So how long did you live in San Diego?
A year and a half.
Okay. So that's a pretty short time.
Yeah,
and then to be kind of like kicked out so soon. Wow. And what are the chances your best friend from middle school from back home was already living out here? Wow.
Yeah. Divine.
Yeah. Truly.
I moved in with them and they introduced me to Buddhism. And that really, I was like manifesting and the secret's here. Took me like all the way to the top because that was it is a organized philosophy that I can fall back on at any time versus like bits and pieces of things. And like, it's something that kept me grounded all through LA to this day. And even having family, like I consider them family, and like having a little piece of home here too grounded me. And yeah, then I had to get on my feet in LA, and that was really hard, but I figured it out.
So how old were you at this time?
I was 20.
20?
Yeah, I turned 21 here.
Wow.
I moved here in November 2014. And yeah, and I lived with them for 2 years. And then I somehow found massage therapy and I went to school. And that was when I decided to start dance again because I had some real money to invest in myself to go to class every week. And I did take the advice of that mean teacher. My perception of him was mean, because he told me something true and I just didn't take it well at the time. but it still rung, in my head. And I was just like, okay, he probably was right. I'm not ready for a choreo class just yet. Um, and then I came across a grooves class with Showtime. And Showtime was my first consistent class in LA, a hip hop grooves class. Yeah.
Okay, so you moved out to LA, you were 21. You said you found work as a massage therapist and you felt more financially stable, so you started to take dance class again. Tell us about that.
I can't remember exactly the first time I went to Showtime's class, but I walked out of that class happy and sweaty. Okay, like this guy, he's an OG. He danced with Aaliyah back in the day, and he's so down to earth, so humble. His class was $10. That's unheard of today, especially when you have the credentials like he does.
Yeah.
And it was consistent. It was every Wednesday, I think, or something like that. Grooves is super easy to me, but learning new grooves is cool. Like it taught me how to like expand my vocabulary, and that was the most important thing that I think that grooves class can do for you. In hindsight, like looking back, I'm like, oh, it was so good to start with the grooves class in hip hop
Foundation.
So yeah, that teacher in San Diego pushed me later on in life to be like, I need to start on foundation.
I love this because you were saying like you felt really defeated and like you could have easily just quit dance forever, because some people do, but you didn't.
I didn't. I'm like, just understand that it's a journey and we're gonna take breaks. And that was just, though in the moment I was like, I'm never gonna dance again.
Says every dancer ever. Because once a dancer, always a dancer. Always. And yes, continue what you're saying about breaks, because that's so important.
Yeah. Like, well, how long was that? That was like a 3-year break.
Yeah.
Maybe even more, because San Diego's 18 and moved here LA 20. And then I started becoming a massage therapist in 2017. So I think it was a 5-year break, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow, is right. That's so sad. But necessary, because I needed to grow spiritually and become financially stable to invest in myself as a dancer. So it's all part of the journey. Even if I'm not dancing, I'm still on this journey. And yeah, it led me to foundation, which was grooves. And then it led me to another class that changed my life as well. I found Aisha Francis, and she had a heels foundation class that I took every week as well. And that class was and still is amazing. And those classes together, the foundation in hip hop and the foundation in heels, really shaped me as a dancer today.
Yeah, two absolute legends. So far, it's so admirable that you went to foundation classes. I feel like, I mean, it's still a thing these days, but it's less of a thing. Like most of us are so focused on choreo classes because that's just like really what's popular, and with social media that's grown a lot. But any real dancer knows that like you need to start with your foundations before you can go to a choreography class, right?
Yes.
So you did a lot of foundation classes. You said you were like having a great time, learning a lot. Obviously you worked for EDC, so did you move into like choreo classes?
Yes, but I was very hesitant and resistant because I was so comfortable in foundation. And sometimes Aisha and Showtime will add choreo at the end. Okay. So yeah, they will build off of the grooves that they will teach us, or the I don't know if I want to say grooves for heels, but like the moves they will build off the moves that they have taught us in class, and they will turn into choreo. So it kind of gave me an introduction to choreo again. And then I also started making friends in these classes, because I was going to class solo. I think that's another hard thing too. People always want to bring a friend in the beginning, but if you're dedicated to this craft, and you got to learn how to go by yourself and find people that are going to, especially to the same classes, because then they'll introduce you to other classes. And that's kind of what happened. I found other friends in class, and they'd be like, oh, I'm going to this class, I'm going to that class. And it took me a minute to be like, I'll go with you. But like, yeah, I found encouragement through my dance mates. And eventually it led me to a class here in NoHo. I found a friend that took me to Jabari's class, and it was a beginner's class, but it wasn't beginners, it was intermediate, but he taught in a beginner friendly way that allowed me to not only pick up the skills that I had as a kid, but it gave me an opportunity to retain in class. So it was like the perfect class to transition into from foundation to choreo. And yeah, that's where I found all my friends. I found Chelsea and Erica and so many friends that was a part of my dance journey to this day.
Yeah.
Is a part of my dance journey to this day. So yeah, that class gave me the confidence to start taking choreo classes. So I started taking choreo classes for like a year because I started dancing again in like 2017. And then I started taking choreo like early 2018 into 2019. And then I had a job at a yoga studio doing front desk. And I had this coworker that used to go to raves, or he goes to raves all the time. And he's also a dancer. And he was like, you should go to this audition.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was like waiting for us to get to the EDC part, but like, wow, at a yoga studio. And then thinking back to when you had found yoga. So like yoga was there for you. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I was taking class all the time.
Yeah, yoga class.
Yeah, it was a nice. I mean, I was getting paid, but the exchange also was I get to take classes for free. So I was taking 3 yoga classes, 3 hot yoga classes a day.
Oh
so I was like not only training as a dancer, but I was doing a lot of
working on your body.
Yoga. Yeah, I was going to the gym. I was preparing for this, and I didn't even know.
You didn't even know it. I was gonna say, like, working on your flexibility, your lines, the arch. No wonder your back is so flexible. Oh my God.
I'm actually not that flexible.
I think so.
I maintained what I had, and I slowly grow.
Wow.
So yeah.
Were you also a raver at the time?
Not yet. No. I definitely always had like a wide music taste. But I didn't really dive into EDM just yet.
Wow. Yeah. So this coworker was like, you should go to the EDC audition.
He was like,
did you know what it was?
No. I had no idea what EDC was. I had an idea because he said it, and then I like went on the page, and I was just like, what the heck?
Did he dance at EDC? Okay.
Yeah. Or just with Insomniac in general. I'm not sure if it was EDC. But yeah, so I found some courage to go. And it was, to this day, it's my favorite audition to go to. I would go to that audition for fun. Like, I don't even care about getting booked. Like, I just really like
it's fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Because I love freestyling. Like, that's why it was so hard to get into choreo, too, because I love dancing the way I want.
Yeah.
And this audition was an opportunity for me to dance the way I want. And
wow.
Yeah, so it was really cool. We're all on the line, and we just dance in front of the DJ, and then you just walk away. That's the audition.
Sounds so simple.
Yes, there's a lot of nerves that come with it, but again, when you work on your mental and your spirituality, you'll get through a lot of stuff and it won't phase you as much. But I was still really nervous, but I just did what I always do.
You just did. You just did. I was gonna say, so like after all those years of kind of like dancing, then taking a break, hearing what that teacher said, but then getting back into foundation, choreo, yoga, and someone saying, hey, you should go to this EDC audition. You looked it up and you were just like, yeah, I'll go. It was just like, yeah.
It wasn't that simple. Okay. But I definitely had to, go through some mental hurdles of telling myself that I can do this.
Okay. What was coming up?
I'm not ready. Like, do I even want to dance professionally? Like all those things that just keep it from making it real, because you can train, but once you audition, it's like you're about to be really professional if you get chosen, so just trying to figure out if dance was just for me or is it something to share with other people and to get paid for it. But I just like, you know what, I think I learned really early too, thanks to yoga, like detachment, and you just go to audition and you just leave it alone. You don't think about it, you don't worry about it, you don't check your email, you just do it.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, you just do it and you leave it. You're right. And
a lot of dancers don't have that figured out until, I don't know, probably a lot later.
Yeah. Like I said, yoga and learning non-attachment
yoga
helped me with that too. And yeah, so with the audition, you dance, you freestyle, and then they either ask you to stay for choreo or you just go. And if you do go, there's still an opportunity for you to get picked. It's just they're trying to see if you're capable for bigger roles like main stage. And yeah, I walked away and someone came up to me and was like, you can stay for choreo. And
Hell yeah. That's probably one of the scariest auditions because they're really going based off of you and who you are, and you can't even try to pretend to be anybody else.
Yeah.
Or like be someone in choreo. It's just like you are showing up so vulnerable as you are, what you look like, what your hair looks like, what your outfit looks like, how you dance, how you freestyle.
And that's something I want to talk about too. It's like I also had training with being a team member, right, on a dance team. And I really think what got me booked for real is when I got picked for the choreo, we were all learning choreo together based on like when you came back into that room or when you were done your audition, come into the room, we're all learning the choreo in the matter of a couple hours before we have to audition again. So we're all in different groups, but we're all learning the same choreo. And then and there, like I started asking the other girls, I'm like, hey, can you help me with the choreo? And they're like, oh yeah. And then like one guy offered a girl a snack, and like during the audition to the freestyle, there was a girl in front of me and she was doing a move, and then I copied a move and we made eye contact and we were like laughing together, and we were just like, so like in general, that audition, I think the people really wanted a teammate as well, not just a dancer, because they want you to be a part of the experience. And to do that, you just can't be a single dancer. Like you're a part of a bigger collective. So not only I think my dancing landed me the gig, but being a team member too. And yeah, a couple weeks later, I got booked for EDC.
Hell yeah. When you were getting ready to go to the EDC audition or before that, like, did you think you were a good dancer?
I think I'm a good dancer, but I didn't know if I was good enough for this. And I think that's a question that I always ask myself. Am I good enough? Am I good enough? And you got to just keep experiencing if you are or not. Like there's no way to know in your mind. You have to just show up and find out.
Oh my God. Yeah. There's no way to know in your mind.
Yeah.
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 Because your mind lies to you, plays tricks on you. One day it could tell you you're the best dancer, and the next day it could tell you you're the shit. You're shit. So you're right, just going out there. So yeah. So what gave you that confidence to go?
Probably my coworker.
Yeah.
Just reminding me and like explaining to me that it wasn't a hard audition. And he was I think he said it was like one of the easiest auditions you can ever go to.
He made it sound so easy.
He made it sound so easy, and I think God or the universe that he was able to give me that message, because if he would have made it hard or made it sound crazy, I probably wouldn't have went.
You went in with ease.
I went in with ease because someone that believed in me and wanted me to do this gave me that message, and I went for it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Told you it takes a village to be a dancer.
Insomniac Entertainers is a company that hires dancers for EDC and other projects as well. So tell us a little bit about what it was like working with Insomniac. Maybe a few things that went well, and maybe a few lessons that you learned.
Yeah. So my first opportunity was main stage, which is crazy because I never got main stage again.
The main stage.
But, yeah, I started strong, y'all. It wasn't only my dancing, but my ability to be a team player that got me that gig. And yeah, so they put me in a hotel, which is great because going to Las Vegas and dancing for EDC is expensive. It's a lot of investment. So not only was it my first time, but my first time financially was a little easier than other people, which is cool because honestly, I don't think I would have went if I didn't have that opportunity to go and have a hotel for me already. And yeah, so like I really had a great experience.
Yeah, they knew you weren't gonna go if they didn't give you main stage.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
like we need her.
Yeah, I don't know if they do this anymore, but in 2019 they did do that. So I don't want to get your hopes up if you get main stage and you're like, well, I didn't get a hotel. Well, things have changed.
Well, you're not Darrien.
Yeah,
okay.
Stop. I'm just saying, like, things changed after COVID, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on now.
That's
but,
true.
At the time, yeah. So I just had to get there.
Pre-COVID. You went to EDC pre-COVID.
2019. So after that, it was like shut down, right? The craziest thing too, I wasn't financially that well off either.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the Greyhound to Vegas. And then it gave me a hotel. So it was like, yo, I can't even get on the plane or drive there. Like, I'm getting on the Greyhound.
That's how you do it.
And yeah, it was cool. It was easy. I slept kind of with one eye open through the whole thing. And next thing you know, I have my suitcase and I'm walking to my hotel. And yeah, it was super cool. But actually, all that big talk about being spiritual and having that inner work did only got me so far for the experience. I actually had a really terrible internal experience. I had a lot of anxiety. And I didn't really know how to go-go dance. Honestly, I don't really know how I got picked. I don't really know. I'm sorry to be like, what? But like, honestly, if you do something you've never done before, there's a high chance that people see potential in you. And you have to learn through the experience.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and like you kind of just went in, first of all, with ease, not really knowing what you're doing, versus I feel like when you over prepare for auditions, that's when you get so anxious because you're worried about fitting into this box, where I feel like you were just like, I'm going to just show up and I have no clue what EDC is. I don't know what any of this is. I'm just going to do it. And the universe was like,
bet.
Yeah. Let's take a chance on this person.
Take a chance on me.
But it is kind of interesting. I mean, we're moving into the rest of your journey, but it is interesting to hear this because it kind of makes sense for like
what's to come.
Yeah.
So EDC is 3 days. So I had 3 days to get it right.
You're like, day 1, don't know how to go.
Day 2, kind of know how to go.
And you're 3, on the main stage.
I was like, day 3, all right, I think she kind of got it figured out. So the first day the outfits were so cute. Like I love the outfits. They were fun. They have props there was 5 different outfits for one day.
What?
3 days. I have to do this. Yeah. And 2 of the outfits have props. So we had like these wooden birds that we had to dance with, and we had these like wings, LED wings. So we had to use that. Man, my arms were tired.
Yeah, they have the craziest costumes.
No one ever really teaches you how to train for that, but luckily I was already training for something. Didn't know what. Just training to dance, and it paid off because I probably would have died. Doing all that.
And the hot yoga?
Yeah.
Probably helped. The hot yoga for sure helped.
This is 12-hour shifts.
Wow.
You know? I mean, obviously there's breaks in between. I'm not dancing the whole time, but 12 hours you're on in EDC, and this is 3 days. So it's a lot of work, a lot of physical work. And yeah, so first day, I was too bouncy and too groovy for them.
Oh, someone told you?
Yeah. And it's not negative or positive. It's just, feedback.
That's so interesting.
Main stage is more about pictures, and I didn't really know about pictures. Like, I know you want to get pictures, but I didn't understand the professionalism that comes with.
You were doing Showtime's grooves.
No,
in the heels, like
I was, and I'm like, that's me. Like, that's how I freestyle. I'm sure I was doing heels too, but I was incorporating what I know.
What did you do at the audition then?
I think it depends. I think I did more heels, probably during the time. But when you're dancing for that, I don't know what's coming out. Like, I'm just doing whatever I feel.
And like the audition's such a small amount of time, and then when you're on stage, you got like hours of dancing, so you're gonna pull out all your tricks.
Exactly. So I think the grooves just started to come out.
Yeah.
Eventually,
they were like, no.
Like, why are you so bouncy? I'm like, because my culture.
My culture.
Yeah. Like, what? But it's nothing to take offense to. I'm sure. Like, again, like it was kind of the same feeling of that San Diego teacher. Like, damn, I'm not good enough, right?
But it was more. I think it was more just like, this is the job.
No, yeah,
Here's the feedback,
but that's not my perception. In that moment, I'm getting criticized.
Okay,
right. So that gave me a lot of anxiety because I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Well, just in general. But after they told me that, I was like, well, all right, I gotta learn. And I just like, oh, okay. I realized that like I can hold a pose for like 2 counts, 4 counts, and then change it, and then do grooves a little bit in between. So I realized how to balance it a little bit more every day I was doing it. And yeah, I learned a lot
Wow, learning on the job.
on the job.
Not many of us are. I mean, we're always learning on jobs, but like
Mhm.
for something like that,
Yeah.
wow.
Really, like I said, the universe took a chance on
Yeah,
me.
it took a chance.
And I remember the first time I walked on stage, there is a artist named San Holo, and he plays the guitar. And he opened up with his guitar, and I like cried a little bit. I tried not to like cry. It was my first time walking on stage, but I teared up. I'll just say that. I didn't like cry my makeup off. But it was I don't know, it was the biggest stage I've ever been on. And to hear a guitar solo before you walk on stage for the first time, and then going on stage and you see 60,000 people in front of you, like that shockwave me.
Ooh.
Not only as a dancer, but as an artist. Because I was
Ooh.
like, they're all here for this artist, and I'm like a part of the experience. And I just really think that did something to me.
Yeah, I just got chills.
Yeah,
because
like,
they're all just all that energy is looking back at you,
yeah.
and they see you as part of that entity. They don't know you as Darrien.
Mhm. I'm the character that
Mhm.
Insomniac wants us to be, and yeah, so yeah, it was tough as a dancer, but like I think that did something to my brain chemistry or something. Like,
Yeah, it
being
does.
there.
Oh my god, this is why I say I never got into drugs, hard
Mhm.
drugs.
Yeah,
Dancing,
dancing.
performing for huge crowds. It's like one to get the dopamine rush from dancing, but then to get it from all these people screaming at you and
Mhm.
cheering for you, that's like the biggest fucking rush, and that can be addicting.
Did I mention I've never been to EDC or have never done any of this before?
Oh my god!
So that was my first
Never.
experience. Was
Okay, that's a big
looking
rush.
in the crowd,
It's
and
a
I
big
was like,
rush. Don't make
all
eye
these people are
contact.
here for a DJ? That's crazy, bro. Like I never thought
You're
that
the
would be
DJ.
possible. I never thought that was possible. And I even seen like Excision, which is a dubstep DJ, and I seen people headbang for the first time on stage.
Wow.
I was like, they're gonna hit their heads. And I had to learn how to dance to this music too on the fly.
Oh my god.
I'm getting introduced to everything. I'm getting introduced to the rave world literally on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, so many lessons, so many new things. What else did you learn?
After that experience, COVID happened, and I was booked for Beyond too after that, and it didn't happen because we were locked down. And that's kind of where life got interesting internally and obviously externally. We're all going through a COVID experience, a pandemic. But what it did to me personally, I realized how much I relied on dance classes and being in the class community with yoga, meditation, everything. Like I was always going to classes. Like I was such a typical LA girl. Class, class, class. And like not having class, I kind of lost my identity during the pandemic. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I tried to take classes online because people were still teaching.
No, I did a lot of Zoom classes.
But it wasn't filling my cup enough, and I kind of lost myself a lot. And eventually I started going to my friend Cece's class in like 2021. Like things were starting to open up enough where we can wear masks and go back to class.
Is that when you first started going?
Yeah.
No way.
2021, yeah. I know Cece
I thought
for a
it was
while.
earlier than that.
I known her since 2018,
Okay.
2019-ish. But I started taking her class consistently in 2021. So yeah, after the pandemic started to ease up, I found two mentors. A hip-hop mentor, Ellie. She is from New Zealand, and she moved out here. And she goes back and forth. She was a friend of a friend, and she saw me freestyle my story, and then she was like, "Hey, you want to come to class? Do you want to come to class and assist me?"
Oh,
Yeah,
period.
For beginners class, right? Because she was just starting out here in LA from New Zealand. She has her own thing back home, but she wanted to start something in LA. And then I started going to Cece's class, which is a friend of mine, and so I had again a hip hop situation and a heels situation. That's always been my thing, heels and hip hop, since I started dancing again out here. And that got me back into a groove. But I'm gonna be honest, dance didn't it still felt weird to me around this time. I was doing it, I was going through it, I was learning, I was growing, but something switched after the lockdown. And yeah. But I still had a good time. Just wasn't as hungry for it professionally, but I still wanted to grow as a dancer. So yeah, I was training my butt off. And Ellie really helped me learn how to teach dance and like a different perspective of being a teacher, and being confident, knowing that I am a good dancer and I have something to offer.
Wow.
But people that are just starting, I remember this one person just started dancing and I did a move and I was able to teach him the move right. And like that really made me super happy. And then with Cece, I feel like her class, in my opinion, is really big on artistry and building your artist. And yeah, so these two mentors really shaped me to who I am today beyond dance. So I want to, yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I mean, I'm sure that's relatable to a lot of people that like something big or major happened before COVID, and maybe it felt like maybe dance or not dance specific, but it was taking off, and then COVID kind of shut everything down, and then it made us kind of rewire and rethink everything.
Mm-hmm.
And still props to you that like you never gave up on dance, but again, once a dancer, always a dancer.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna find dance in different realms or in different ways, and you're gonna kind of ebb and flow between training and now like it sounds like you're getting into teaching a little bit and then
Yeah.
moving to the artist side, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like Ellie was a perfect example of not only a dancer and choreographer, but a visionary. Like she would make events up and put a whole lot of something out of nothing. I'm like, how does she even do this? Like she just has an idea and she goes for it. And I just never really seen that up close in a mentor. So she was able to not only teach us every week, but she allowed us to do showcases. So I got to perform again with my dance team that we created, and well, not we, but I was there assisting, and then over time we built into a dance team, and so we were able to showcase and do stuff for fun. And yeah.
Wait, did you know her before she reached out to you on Instagram?
I think I met her through Erica a little bit before that, but then I always used to post my freestyles on my story, and then she was like, "Oh, you're dope. Let's do this." I'm like, "Okay."
That's
like,
awesome.
Come here.
You're just attracting after attracting.
Because I share. Like I think a lot of people are afraid to show where they are. Especially Instagram makes us feel like we have to be all polished, especially now with all these cameras. But I love the freestyle, so I'm going to show who I am. I don't care if I'm in my room. Like I used to just freestyle in my room and put it on my stories.
People love the room freestyles. I know I like them.
Yeah.
I like watching them.
And that gave me an opportunity to be mentored and assist her. So that was really cool. And
wow, just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Honestly, I know it's hard.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah, you never know who's watching. In a positive
people
way.
Always say that. Yeah.
In a positive way. There's probably a lot of people hating because they don't have the guts to do what
they're
you're
always
doing.
Watching. The haters are always watching.
But there are people that actually want to give you opportunities too that are in the mix of the haters. So you just got to keep showing up for yourself. And then whoever wants to elevate that and expand that, you know, it's really dope.
And it's the people who you never think are the ones that give you the opportunity. They come out of the blue and you're like, oh, I didn't even know you were watching, or I didn't even know you took interest in me.
Yeah.
It's always those people,
exactly,
which is pretty cool.
So quickly, CC too, just like being consistent with CC and Ellie. CC's not my official mentor, but she's a friend in a class I decided to take. So I always do get like advice from her, but having those two as mentors have shaped me so much as an artist, and it gave me the confidence to go back to an EDC audition, which I did in 2024. So just last year.
5 years later.
5 years again. Another 5 years.
Whoa!
Always training.
Don't let them know how old we are.
Okay, I was like, another 5 years has passed, and now I'm back at an EDC audition.
Okay, that sounded like meh, or it was exciting.
Oh, did it sound bad?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't. I did get booked.
Like, was it like, oh yeah, another 5 years I'm back, or like, oh, now another 5 years I'm kind of back at the same place?
So, remember I said, no, it was good. It was good. It felt like a full circle because I said before that I got booked for Beyond, but then it got canceled because of COVID. But then after I went to the EDC audition for this past year, not only did I get booked for EDC, I got booked for Beyond within like the same week.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, full circle. Now I can actually dance
do both.
Beyond. And that was fun. I was to slide into kind of like the negative of being a dancer or like a character when you dance is that there's a lot of like wigs and there's a lot of costumes. So like if you have hair like this or if you're a bigger person, like it's a little anxiety induced when you don't know if you're going to be able to fit into the box, right? And that's another reason why it took me a long time to go back to EDC because I decided to get locks during the pandemic. And I knew once I do this, I was like, I'm not going to be able to be malleable. I'm not going to be able to fit in anybody's box and be a part of their vision so easily because now I'm starting to become my own thing physically.
That must have been tough though, that transition, because we're used to being one way and like as a dancer you're always trying to audition and fit into boxes and be part of someone's vision, and then it's like when you realize like I don't want that anymore, but the other side is so unknown and you haven't like built that other side for yourself yet. You're like kind of going away from something you've known to the unknown.
Yeah, so like the start when I said I wasn't feeling good about dance professionally in 2020 when it was chaos everywhere, something told me the same thing that told me to cut off my hair when I was younger. It was like, it's time to get locks. And I was like, who said that? Who said that? And I was like, now when I decided to be a professional dancer, I'm supposed to get locks. Like, how am I going to fit these wigs when my hair grows out? But I had to follow my heart again. I was like, I got to listen because I know my hair be talking to me. And I just
yes.
When you go natural, your hair talks to you. I really do believe that.
Yes.
And so I listened, and that was a hard transition too. But yeah, so it was a hard decision to go back to Insomniac, knowing that maybe my hair won't fit in these wigs.
Yes, because that was 2020, 2024. So how long were your locks by 2024?
Probably around here.
Long
enough to be thick underneath a wig. And so I was like shaking in my boots before I even went to the audition because I was like, there's a high chance I'm gonna get booked again because I've been booked before.
I'm gonna get booked again. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
only because of experience, not because I think I'm the shit. But like, you know, there's a high chance because I already got booked before. So I was like, all right, am I ready to learn the hard truth about my hair? Because to be honest,
people about them
mic drop. For real. Which is my next segue into that. So what I learned when I got to Beyond, my character didn't have a wig. So I had
I remember how anxious you were, and I was like, what if they don't even put you in a wig? Like, what if they're just like, no, we want her as she is?
Yeah. So
what? And then you were like, well, what if they don't? Like, what am I gonna do when I get there?
Yeah. And yeah,
the universe got you.
Like, you need to be here because, and I've done wigs later, but in that moment, that was just so like internally scary for me to like, what if I go to this job and I can't go or I can't do it because of my hair? And yeah, I got a character that didn't need a wig. I just had a little cap. I was like, I forgot the mythical creature's name, but it's like an octopus. Starts with a C. I'm sorry, I forgot, but yeah, I just was like an octopus, and I just had like a headpiece that had the octopus head and eye. So I was even able to wear a little bit of my locks out in the front, and like I cried like when I got to wherever I had to be like alone, and I just was like, I was so nervous and so scared about this, and then the universe had my back and gave me an opportunity to be myself.
Yeah,
and just in this little creature thing in this character, but I fit in the box. With my locks, and I wasn't expecting that. I was so scared, and I even got another stage gig too. I could have been a character walking around, but I got a stage gig again, which was cool.
Yes, because you deserve to be up there.
Yeah, so I got to dance with Hamdi and other really cool DJs, which I love that set a lot too. So I danced for Insomniac a few times last year, and I think right before I even went to EDC, I looked at my DJ controller that was sitting there for like a year and a half, 2 years, and I was like, I'm gonna learn.
Like, what you doing here?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna learn. And after EDC, after Beyond, EDC was a lot physically.
Wait,
Yeah.
It's the same thing as when you learn the knee spin.
Oh yeah.
You're
What do
just
you
like,
mean?
I'm gonna learn.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's like kind of the theme of my being, honestly. Like
Yeah.
even that first EDC experience, I was like, I'm gonna learn today. Like I might not be good today because I'm too groovy, but I'm gonna learn how to be posy and have pictures. And yeah, like I'm a pretty determined person. I don't give myself enough credit for that because I'm such a water sign. I'm so flowy and flexible, but I'm very passionate, and when I want to learn something, I really sit down and learn, and that's what I did with DJing. After that EDC experience, I was so tired. I think I slept for like 2 days straight.
Yeah, last year. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Oh,
Like I'm sorry, like it's just too physical.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm tired. I'm not training like this like I was the first time. I don't regret it. I love it. It's just like I just don't want to do that anymore. I'll do smaller events, but 3 days is too much. And after that decision, I was like, do I want to dance professionally? Because like some jobs are going to be really tiring,
demanding,
and I realized I don't want to do that. I want to dance for me when I feel like it, and not be pushed into exhaustion in a sense of like being a part of someone's vision, which is totally fine if that's what people want to do. But I did it, and I outgrew it.
I think that's what your hair was telling me.
Yeah,
to just
listen to my heart. And yeah, I'm glad I listened to my hair and not the fact that I wanted to be a professional dancer, because I outgrew it. Like my hair grew. And yeah, so DJ.
Yes. So through dancing, you obviously love music. You went to EDC. You're in the rave scene now, and EDM like introduced to a whole new genre. And then, like you said, you found a new craft. You started DJing, which allowed you to express more of your authentic self as an artist. And like what your hair was telling you to do was just to be like your authentic self, and like, I got your back.
Yeah.
Right. So trusting that. So yeah, just can you share more about your transition from dancing to DJing?
Yeah. Around the same time, I started raving personally. I was around a lot of people that DJ'd and produced music. So I was kind of taken in what they were doing for years, but I never thought it would be me. And I had to buy a controller for someone randomly, and I kept it. But it was just sitting on my desk for like ever, like collecting dust for like 2 years. And I decided to just learn last year. I think, yeah, in April last year, I was like, I'm gonna learn. And then for 6 months, I like pretty much trapped myself in my room, got on YouTube, and taught myself how to DJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's so cool. Because that's not easy.
No,
and like,
it took a lot of time.
It takes a lot of determination. Like you said, you are determined. But even to learn something like that on your own. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I had a lot of people introduce DJing to me. They never really like taught me, but like just I'm a sponge. So like if you're in my environment, I'm gonna absorb what you're doing if I like it or not. I'm just an empath like that.
Yeah.
And which is a superpower if you know how to use it.
It is. And it was funny that you said like, oh, I was surrounded by all these people, but I didn't know that would be me one day. But like me looking on the outside, it's like if they weren't like committing crimes, then, and it wasn't bad, then yeah, you are gonna kind of like gravitate towards that and maybe become some shape or form of that thing.
Yeah, definitely. It just goes to show like you won't really know why you're attracted to people sometimes until later on in life. And that's even hard, because that gives me like imposter syndrome. Like, am I just trying to be this person? And be like, oh no, but I was in the past, I thought I was attracted to them for other reasons, but I was probably attracted to them not only because of who they are as a person, but because we had similar interests I didn't even know existed yet within me. And they just sparked it, helped me bring it out of me. And it didn't even really manifest till later on anyway, when they're not even like around anymore. But
yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, so it's like a seed that's planted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so fast forward 6 months later, I debuted at your birthday party. And I was so scared because like I just didn't know how people were going to like take it. And even before that, I was practicing on live streaming. And so I knew there was some type of a positive feedback from my DJing, but like I'd never DJed in person yet for a crowd. And so your birthday was like, it changed my life. I know it was your birthday, but I was blessed. Okay.
I knew that. I honestly, actually, I didn't know. I was gonna say I knew.
You took a chance on me too.
I was gonna say I knew it would be life changing, but no, I can't say that. I didn't think it would be life changing.
It was,
but I just thought it would be like a nice kick in the butt to be like, all right, let's just get going here. I'm like, you've been in your bedroom, let's just like get going.
Yeah,
I want to see this come to life, and like, yeah. Always trusted you. I never had no reason to not trust you. I think nobody has had no reason to trust you.
Yeah, but it was just a first experience.
Totally.
And
it's so
such a
cool
positive like reaction.
Yeah.
There was a split train on the floor. It was crazy. And it was obviously we were friends with dancers.
Yeah.
And like we had a lot of dance friends at your birthday, and all the dance friends were going off. And I was like, that was that moment when I realized like I'm once a dancer, always a dancer. I'm not only a dancer, but I'm giving my dance friends and my community an opportunity to have a dance floor.
Honestly, I also wanted that. I had been wanting a DJ at my birthday for many years, and it hadn't really worked out in the past for some sort of reason. And I always wanted to have like a dancer party like that. So that was one of my favorite birthdays.
Yeah.
It was really special to me.
Yeah.
It really was.
And I was like, actually, I kind of planned that birthday party too.
Yeah, you bought the decorations.
I did. So yeah, it really sparked like not only a DJ, but I want to be an event planner.
Oh my god, the things we can do together.
Yeah.
Because you know what it also did for me? Like I was thinking too, like I dated a promoter.
I'm about to be one.
and I know, and like I have been so good at promoting and inviting people and getting people together and like having people show up because I've seen what it takes.
Yeah.
But I try to take the positive from what I learned of like being a vulture to like, okay, dial it back.
Yeah.
Like you can't be the one that everybody is gonna hate because you're too much. Yeah.
Too on top of them. Yeah. And that's something I'm going to have to learn too as a DJ and trying to getting into the scene and like building a community. And I really feel like to circle back to like Cece, she helped me become an artist, not only a dancer. And I also got to see her and Ellie build a community by just being themselves and not pushing too much, but just always showing up.
Oh, that's what it is. Not pushing so much, like
being
the
an
vulture.
Example. Yeah, you just be an example. And that's something that Buddhism taught me too. It was like you can't force people to drink, right? You got to just give them the water, and if they drink, they drink. And being an example is the best way to have people see that they have potential to do better and be capable too. Being in Cece's class helped me learn how to be on camera more, and just owning who I am in front of a camera translated so much into being an artist and owning who I am when I'm live streaming.
Yes.
With YouTube in the past, having a YouTube channel, being in front of the camera and dance, and like just loving music and dancing in general, like I really feel like that shaped my live stream experience.
Yes.
And now I started with 100 and something followers in November, and now I have over 5K in just a few months. So crazy.
So this whole time you've been developing this character, your avatar, your artist.
Moongoon.
Yes.
Who was Sailor Moongoon at first, but I was like, I don't want that to bite me in the ass later. So I had Sailor Moongoon as my name for a long time because I'm obsessed. We have the same birthday, and I grew up on that anime, and something about her being so emotional and so like always like feeling what others are feeling, but wanting to save the world and always showing up and transforming into the badass that she is.
Oh my god, that's
really
you.
like spoke to me, and so I always kind of had this internal character, this alter ego of something similar to her. But after like my live stream started to pick up, and I was transitioning into TikTok, I was like, I gotta have a real DJ name. Like I can't be Sailor. I don't want to be tied to her visually, and so I dropped the Sailor and kept Moongoon.
Yeah,
and that's how I got my name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that was a great choice.
thank you.
Yeah.
And now this is the character
DJ Moongoon.
that
It
I'm
really
developing.
suits you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I really do feel like the sailor and the goon is kind of the same thing. It's like
Okay.
she had a job to do, as this role is to do what you need to do to protect Earth and through the moon's calling. And I feel like that's kind of the same thing. That my intention with DJing is to, like, I don't know, give people a safe space to be who they need to be. And I want to be in every dance floor. Like, I want to be in every genre and on every dance floor. And I just want to bring people together from different walks of life and use music as a way to be a universal language.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes, you're very familiar with dance floors and
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's no coincidence that not only am I multidimensional, I have a lot of background in different things in life. My music taste is very expansive and very all over the place. Like, I love hard techno, I love psytrance, I love house, hip hop, Y2K. Like, I've just been everywhere and I have so much more to learn too. But drum and bass, everything. Like, I love everything. And being a multi-genre DJ makes me feel like there's no limits. There's no box at all, And
Wow.
I'm excited to grow.
Going from your dance experience and dance work of feeling like you had to fit in a box to now there is no box.
There is no box.
There is no ceiling. That's really fucking cool. In my opinion, and I know lots of other people's opinions too, we feel like dancers make the best DJs.
Aww.
What do you think about that?
I think it's true.
Yeah.
I just changed up my live stream setup, and now I have way more room to dance in my room, and like people are eating it up.
People are
because
gagged.
They can see the full me, in a sense of like, I'm not just a DJ, I'm a dancer. And I think that helps my taste, because I know what makes me dance is going to make others dance.
Oh my God, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
And the transitions,
how long a breakdown should be. If the
Yes.
breakdown's going to be a breakdown, it better be worth it. It better be a breakdown that makes you feel like you're floating. You know what I mean? Like, being intentional. Because like, if a dancer is being broken up, like, they got to stop dancing.
Yes.
You're like, you better make it worth it. Like, if that breakdown, they should be like feeling it. You know what I mean? And I really think about me on the dance floor, because I'm literally dancing when I DJ.
Literally, I don't think a lot of DJs who aren't dancers don't think about the flow of your movement and cutting off your movement. So like,
I'm not perfect. I'm learning.
Those have been my least favorite. When I feel like I stop dancing, then I'm like, what is this? Like, the transition is just something gets cut off, or they don't finish the phrase, or like, I don't know, just something weird happens. So yeah, you just knowing internally the flow of how you want to move, what parts of the songs you want to move to. That takes some intricate ass work when you're DJing. I'm sure it does.
It takes some time, like, to even understand how to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not perfect, and I'm learning how to keep the rhythm going. And every time I DJ outside, I'm gonna probably mess up and learn that, like, oh, my flow did cut off someone dancing. But it's all an experience. Like, I know what's in me, so I'm gonna be able to bring it out. But having that awareness is so important. And I have that awareness. I just have to learn to build that skill to keep the dance floor rocking and making more sense to them. And so that's full circle. Like, I know I said my experience was, I felt like I was in a box as a dancer. But as a DJ, I want to give dancers the experience to be out of the box, to have dance floors that feel like there's no limit, and I can't wait to start creating events that make people feel like they're the main character. They're the experience. I want events to make people feel like they are part of the experience. Like, Insomniac made me feel like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it almost sounds like you want to give back to yourself as a dancer, and provide yourself that space. For how you wanted to show up as a dancer. That's relatable. Yeah, I think that's what we all want as people who are leaders in the entertainment space, the wellness space. We just want to give that space to, like, what we wish we had.
Yeah.
And it's always changing. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode with DARRIEN London, from dancer to DJ. Do you want to plug in your socials for everybody so that they can find you?
Yeah. You could find me on Instagram as Naturally Darrien if you want to follow my personal journey. But my DJ name is dj.moongoon on Instagram, and on TikTok, which is where I do my live streams, is moongoon.dj. So the opposite. I'm also on YouTube as well as Moongoon, and I'm on SoundCloud as well as Moongoon. And if you find one social, you'll find my links, and they'll lead to all my other socials. So check out my bios in any of those platforms, and you'll find everything.
Yes, awesome. I'll also link everything in the description below so you can all find Darrien. Make sure you follow her right now.
If you want to dance,
right now. But yes, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment. Make sure you also share this video with a fellow dancer or someone who you think would really enjoy this and be really inspired by Darrien's journey. Bye.
Bye.